vapor trail?
No, I don't think so.
No vapor
It's
trail?
a vaporless
Yeah.
e-cigarette, so I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
It's not a real cigarette, ladies and
You know, I
gentlemen.
was blowing smoke rings with this thing.
Well, that is interesting,
Did you know that?
but not really interesting.
Did you know you used to have a game that if you could blow a smoke ring, right, out of a cigarette and blow the second smoke ring through the circle, the first circle, you win $100. Did you know that? I could never do the smoke ring.
Yeah, that's probably a trick that.
What else questions you want to know? What else do you want to know?
Where did we
what
leave
you-
off? Where did we leave off?
Hell if I know, Bill. Anyway,
Well-
you were just a little shit
Yes.
when we went fishing.
Regardless of the timeline,
It was a German brown.
although
I
it's
remember
called a
chasing-
rainbow trout for me, for my memory,
well,
just so you know.
Well, I'm telling you what it was, okay? And it was pregnant. We took all the eggs out of it. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, okay. We put
All
all
I
the eggs
remember
in
is
the bucket.
Grandma gutted it and
Yeah.
served it up.
Yeah.
And it was called a rainbow trout at the time.
Well, we said it was rainbow, but it wasn't. It was a German brown.
It's fine. It doesn't. It
Same
doesn't.
thing. It was good. It was good eating, I'll tell you that.
It was the bigger fish than you caught that day.
Well, I didn't catch anything.
That's
I know
right.
it jumped, I swear to God, it jumped up right on your line, because you were dunking that damn, just like this. You were doing just like this, drowning that fucking grasshopper.
That's why I don't fish now.
Yeah, that grasshopper like this, and about that time you brought it, that somebody had to jump at least this high out of the water to get that sucker. And I think that's why you caught it, because it looked like a regular bug doing its thing, so.
So
I'll never forget.
you got married a couple of times.
Yeah.
So
One was an old bill.
what was your second marriage?
It was an
matter.
old 9 months. That was to
Marry what?
Mary Frank. Frankenberger. No, Frank. And it was Mary Frank. We got married right after, I guess, me and your mom broke up. And we lasted 9 months. I got mad at her parents because they were bitching about you playing their stupid little piano when I had you that day. And
So it was the cause of your divorce?
No, you weren't the cause of it. I was the cause of the divorce. I told her I was cheating on her. I don't cause it. I told her I was cheating. And
Were you cheating on her?
Yeah, we went to a Billy Graham crusade, and they said, confess all your sins to your spouse so you can start to do good. And I looked at her and said, you know, I've been screwing around on you. She said, with who? I said, with everybody. She said, bet you liked it. I said, bet you. I said, yeah, plus this other girl, plus your other girlfriend named Sophie. That was the end of that story, okay? Plus you got religious, I mean, real bad religion, so. And she wasn't that religious, because she didn't forgive me, that's
Did
for
Grandpa
sure.
like her?
No, he didn't like her at all. Grandpa didn't like her at all.
I bet Grandpa liked Betty though.
Oh, yeah, everybody liked Betty. Everybody liked Betty. She was,
You know, I know that.
well,
Because I got cards from them all the time, and I saw them a bunch.
oh, I know. They were
Oh,
my
wow,
eyes. They were my spies. And you didn't know that, did you? You didn't know I had spies, did you?
Well,
I
I knew
do.
my grandparents
Yeah.
were in my life.
Yeah, I know, but they spied for me. They did everything I wanted to know. You were swimming, I was right there with you, but you didn't even know I was in the stands, did you?
I know you weren't in the stands.
Yes, I was.
No.
I sure the hell was.
You know why I know you weren't in there? Because it didn't allow my mom to watch either.
Well, I was in the stands.
I
You
didn't
even know,
allow.
did
I
you?
didn't allow anybody to come watch me
Well,
swim.
My mom and dad do.
No, they
No.
came to the alumni swim meet. You see the picture with them? That's at the alumni swim.
I know, but they told me about your swimming and all that kind of stuff. I knew everything about you. It was going on, I seen all the pictures and everything. I just didn't want to bug you. I just didn't want to screw things up for you.
Why not?
Because I was a doper back then, okay? I wasn't in the best of shape, you know? When you've been told that you're nothing but a big dummy, you think you're a big dummy after a while. You know?
What if you've been told nothing?
Hell, I don't know. Hell, what do I know? I should have zagged instead of zigged. You know, what am I supposed to tell you? Who knows, man? What was I supposed to do? You know, I figured when I came to Alameda and your mom had Marshall there and she was doing good, you were there, you were happy, she was happy, everybody was happy. I said, you know, the best thing for me to do is drop out of this picture. That way I won't be no conflict of interest. And that's what I did. And I moved up to, where the hell did I move to?
Well, you were living in Reading at the time.
No, see, yeah, I moved up to Reading, and I did nothing for years, babe. I didn't get married till '94 to Mary, so I dinged around for 14 years, man.
You didn't get
In
married.
1980?
You didn't get married to Mary until '94.
No, with Diana.
Okay, Diana.
Yeah.
94. Mary was like 1980, right?
Yeah, right. From 1978 to to 19.
Because in
99.
78 I was a year old.
Yeah, 17. God, 19. God, I can't. 1979. I moved up to Reading in 1980. Yeah. So we broke up in 1990, and I moved up to Reading from Salinas. I got tired of being a truck broker down there. I didn't like it at all because you have to get the truck driver pennies and shit like that. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
No. Well, you got truck drivers that deliver to pick up the fruit and all that kind of stuff, and you have to get them pennies and all this kind of weird shit. And I just didn't. Well, I was not interested in that shit, so I just got out. I would work security down here in Salinas. I'm down in Seaside. I worked for Cambridge Plan. It was a big thing coming up with this Cambridge brand diet bullshit, and they were making money hand over fist at the time, and I worked as security for them. And then I would play cards at Mortimer's and go to Monterey and party in Monterey. Oh, it was fun, Monterey.
Did Grandpa teach you how to play cards?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He taught me everything, everything there is to know, everything you want to know. He put me in games with people cheating, and I have to catch them and everything. And he'd watch how I play. One time I was in a pot, and the pot was huge.
You did that with Bobby Jr.?
No, Bobby Jr. was not even interested in none of that shit. He didn't even, no. I was in a pot one time, and I had a real funky hand. I had a 7-6-1-2-3. This is low ball, okay? And it's not a very good hand. And the pot was huge, so my dad's thinking I got a wheel, the best hand you can get. And I had like the number 26 hand or something like this. And when the smoke cleared and dust settled, this guy says I got a 7-6-5-4, and this other guy says I got a 7-6. Because you can only have so many sevens, okay? There's only 4 sevens. This other guy says, I got a 7-6-4 trade deuce. This other guy says, I got a 7-6-4 ace deuce, something like that. And I said, no, if we're talking about 7-6s here, guys, I got a 7-6-1-2-3. I got the best hand. I took this big giant pot, and my dad just shook his head. My God, he said, I thought you had a wheel the way you were playing that. I said, I did. Didn't I win the pot? He said, yeah. But, you know, he taught me everything, but, he was good. That was good. He didn't have to. The only reason why he cheated is because his luck turned on him. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you sit there for hours and never have a hand. Just sit there. You know? And then you got to bluff to try and win a pot to keep, you know, the antes and stuff going and all that kind of stuff. Now they got that Texas Hold'em, which you only get 2 cards, which you can't cheat. See, they've done everything they can to keep it cheap, but you can't mark the cards because when you deal to 2 cards, right? And I'm holding a deck like this, right? And you can't see what the next card is because they burn and turn, so you don't get to see the next card. They stopped all that cheating stuff. So the only way you could cheat is like if you're sitting across the table, right, and you become friends like me and you talking, hey babe, how you doing? What kind of hand you got? And you show me what you got, and I signal to my buddy over there that you got like King Jack suited, and I'm over here and I got like King Queen, and the pot comes King Deuce 3. And I got a better kicker than you do, and you tell me what's going on, and I can raise or bluff or whatever. That's the only way you play partners a lot in games if you have a good partner.
Like the movie Rounders.
Oh yeah, well, kind of like that. But they cheated, you know, they cheated stuff. The guy was dealing seconds and bottoms and stuff like that. But those are home games. I'm talking about at casinos when you got the camera in the sky and all that stuff. You stuff you can't beat that shit. See. But or put in cold decks, you know. In low ball, you could do a lot of this stuff. See, you could do all that stuff. But they took all that away when they couple with Texas Hold'em came in and he just took over the whole game, took over everything. But they don't have none of that other stuff no more. So really, low ball's gone. We don't have that no more. That was really a good game for cheating and stuff. Real good game for cheating. That's where I was telling you, Dad would hold out 2 or 3 cards, and he'd pick up like King, Queen, Jack, 10, Deuce. Like 20 hands in a row. Weird shit, like instead of picking up something where he could use some cards, and he just said, I would just went 8 rounds, which is 8 hands. They played 8-handed. So you're looking at 64 hands where he couldn't use them cards. And somebody said, you know, has anybody seen the Joker lately? Yeah, the Joker for like 64 rounds. But every half hour they'd come and change the deck. And they'd charge for changing the deck. Okay, call time or something. And then you'd have to put the deck back in. He'd have to put the card back in before they missed it. And one time he was playing and they used 2 different colored decks, you know, the brown and the green. And one time he kind of like fell asleep, you know, and it was time to put the card back in. When he put the card back in, it was a different colored deck. And so he said, somebody made a mistake here with the Joker and shit like that. Oh, God, I could tell you some weird stories. One time we're in a club and they're playing 5-card draw. Now listen to this. They're playing 5-card draw. Dad's got a partner sitting next to him. They come down with 4 aces 3 times in a row. And all 3 times they pick up the antes. That's all they picked up. Because they're cheating back and forth. 3 times they had 4 aces 3 times in a row. Nobody picked up a stinking hand of any kind, so they could jam it to their ass. I mean, weird shit. Then at one time his name was Bud Thurber, something like that, right? They're in the game, and this guy's got a cold deck. He's got it sitting right here, money-making hand, right here. All he has to do is throw away the cards until he gets to his deck where he deals, and he just switches the deck and goes, okay? Because he has a napkin and does that bullshit. Anyway, he's got a deck sitting there, and he looks down, and he picks up 6, 5, 1, 2, 3, which is, you got a bicycle, which is 1, 2, 3 for 5, then you got 6, 4, 1, 2, 3, then a 6, 5, 1, 2, 3, right? That's the third best hand you can get. He plays the hand and goes busted. So now he ain't got no chips. Now he's got to say, deal me out, just like this. He's got to say, deal me out, and push the deck over here, and say, I'm out, I don't have any chips, I got to get more chips and stuff. And he had a money-making hand sitting right there. No one is going to win for sure. He played that other hand. Oh, my dad was so pissed off at him for doing that shit, man. And I mean, Dad's had to pick up some weird people, weird shit, man. And I some of the toughest guys you ever want, like Ken Shamrock and stuff. I knew guys like Tommy and stuff, really tough guys, that they were too afraid to tell me what the other guys got over there, too scared. Like he'd be looking at me, look over there, and I'd be talking to the guy, and the guy would come and show me his hand, and I'd see he's got like a 9, well, a 9, 9, 8, what 8, I, 9, 8, what, and I'd tell him, and he'd call the guy's pot, you get put on the dog, are you bluffing me, or this, that, or that, and you finally call it a big pot, and you win the pot, and everybody says, oh, what a great call you made, shit, as I'm giving the guy the signals to it, and this guy wouldn't do it for me. The guy would not do it. He was so scared he wouldn't do it. He could not do it. I mean, he's looking right at the guy's cards and stuff, and he wouldn't signal and tell me what the guy's got. Weird shit, dude. Some guys just can't do it. They don't have the balls.
So what did your spies tell you about me?
Well, he just told me how you were doing, how good you were doing. You're doing your class thing. And I was so afraid you might turn out like me, man. I just scared the crap out of me, dude. You have no idea. I didn't want you to be like me. Do all that dope and all that kind of crap. I'm working menial jobs, man. I'm cleaning toilets, and I'm working piecework. That's when I worked at Winshire Bedding Company and stuff. But I was working security guard stuff, and you know what I'm saying? Just not good jobs, okay? Not very good jobs. Tough jobs, dishwasher. I did that. And, I mean, I worked my ass off. I worked in places where there was 10 toilets in the movie's 10 theater and had to clean every one of them. That type of shit. Worked my ass off. I just didn't want to see you do that. I just didn't want to see you be like me. You do a dope, what I'm talking about?
Right, I understand.
Okay. Well, I was so scared of that shit. I figured I'd tell you later, and I didn't want to fight with your mom over when you changed your name and stuff like that. I just, you know what? I said, you're doing real good. Everything's cool. And Dad told me just leave you alone, let it go. And everybody's telling me what to do, okay? And I always listen to Dad, And he just told me just stay the fuck out of the way. Just stay out. You can talk to him years from now and tell him your side of the story or whatever, I should have done something back there, but I didn't do it.
What should you have done?
I don't know. Contested.
Contested what?
But you changing your name.
Why?
I should have went down there.
Why would you contest that?
Because I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I was going to. I was going to come down there and say, no. What do I got to do to say, no, you can't do that? So. Like I said, I was so scared you're going to turn out like me. So.
But if my mom wanted to argue it, she could say that you haven't been paying child support.
Well, she wasn't let me see you either. Did you know that? Did you know that she wouldn't let me see you?
Well, you weren't
only
paying
on her
child
terms.
support.
Well, only on her terms, like 1 hour a month. How am I supposed to pay child support for 1 hour a month?
Well, I mean, you'd have
Think about that for a minute. And I'd have to, wait a minute, we ain't done yet. I'd have to live right by you, and I have to snap when she says that. This is what happens. I'm telling you, you just don't know, Ricky. I swear to God, you just don't know. But the worst part was I didn't want you to be like me.
Right, I understand that. I understand.
Okay, but I couldn't be under her thumb. I could not be under her thumb. And that's what would have happened. Okay? I should have. I look back on it now, maybe I should have.
So,
but I didn't want to live in the Bay Area. Okay, that's one thing. I wanted out of that.
So
Bay
she
Area.
was totally non-negotiable.
That's
in
right.
terms of that.
When I saw you, it was on her terms. I wanted 50-50. You got half, I got half. We all kicked everything together, everything cool. And then she got hooked up with Marshall. And
So what did you think when I introduced you to Marina?
what do you mean?
Well, and I'd never introduced anybody to.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I think
okay.
she'd great job, but don't tell her that. I don't want to get a big hit on her, you know.
No, I know, but I'm talking about like in 2000, because in 2000,
Oh, when you came to visit
I
me?
just started dating her, and I already knew when I first started dating her that she was something special. And I was happy that she met my grandpa,
Yeah,
because
yeah. That's good. That's good.
he was big in my life.
He loved you. He loved you
And,
dearly, Bill. He loved you dearly. He really did love you, Bill. And like I said, I listened to what he had to tell me, but look, I couldn't live on your mom's thumb, Bill. Okay? Really, I like I said, I'd kill her. I would kill her. And you know me. Something would have happened. I mean, I don't want it to happen. You don't
Right,
understand,
right.
okay? But that's might have been what it might have happened, okay? I'd be in jail. You come visit me and say, how come you had to kill Mama? Why'd you have to kill my mama? You know, there's no answer for that.
Right. I would have
What
just
else
waited
could I
until you got out of jail and
do? Yeah,
killed
what
you.
else? I mean, no, really, I wouldn't have never got out, okay? What else can I tell you?
Oh, I'd have fought for your innocence just so I could.
I couldn't see you. I had to do it under her terms. I got to see you once a month for 1 hour. Okay? I couldn't do it. I have to live in the Bay Area. I have to be right there on the come and call. You just don't understand, man. Plus, I was not happy with myself at the time.
So,
okay?
do you remember anything about Grandpa saying anything about meeting Marina?
Yeah, he loved her. He thought she was great. She was a white girl.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Did he say that to you? Did he ever say that to you when you introduced her? Is she a white girl?
No. The only thing
Oh, he
I
didn't say that?
remember specifically was the thing that my mom told me was like never, because I got a tattoo when I was 21, which.
Oh, he yelled at you for that?
No. I
No?
don't
He
think
yelled
so.
at you for that?
3 years. I didn't show it to him because it's right here. It's underneath here.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's
so
good.
he showed me his tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
And he said,
Did you see
you
the
know,
skull?
did-
Did you
did-
see the skull?
Yeah.
Okay, you know
Didn't
what that
want-
meant, don't you?
Said, no.
That was assassin, Dave. That was a collector. That was the guy, Dave, with the sword. He tried to get it off there. That's why it didn't look very good and stuff. But it had the swords, if I remember right. I think it had the swords with the skull. If you saw that and you owed somebody money, you better pay him, okay? Because he come to collect.
Yeah, it was a terrible.
Okay.
tattoo.
People hide on their cars because of my dad, okay? That type of thing. He collected for the big boys.
Well, I was just I didn't. She said, well, you know, don't get a tattoo and don't date black girls. You know,
Well, he didn't give a shit if you dated black, white, or brown. He didn't give a. You know how many times I come home with a girlfriend and said, Dad, I want you to meet. Is she a white girl? And she wasn't a white girl and shit like that. You know, Dad didn't talk to me for a whole year because I was going out with Jennifer and with Monica, being a half mulatto. For 1 whole year, Dad would not talk to me, and I did everything I could to talk to him. I'd come over and Mom, you know, was Mom, and I did everything I could, but he wouldn't talk to me because I was going out with a girl that was shooting him. And one of his best friends that he took with him all the time to go collect money was a black guy.
Right, but he didn't want interbreeding.
Yeah. He was just that way, I guess. I don't know.
Right. So I remember that. So I was just, you know, I really wanted him to come to my wedding. Obviously.
Did he come to your wedding?
No,
Oh.
because it was 4 years after he committed suicide.
Oh well, that's turned tough to come, all right. Yeah. But he loved you dearly, baby. He came up here to. I mean,
It really hurt me. His death is the.
It hurt
When
me too,
Grandma
but-
died,
he couldn't get over Mama dying.
I don't know. I could tell, you know, that she wasn't gonna last forever, you know. But he just seemed so stoic, and then he took his own life, which was doubly hard.
Well, he
because-
didn't want to shoot it out with the cops.
I understand that. I understand that. But I'm just saying that still, it was still very, very difficult because I loved him very deeply. So that happened, and I don't think we spoke until quite some time after that happened. Was it until Ryder was born?
Yeah. I
Enjoy seeing your grandson with.
Because I didn't have a
babies.
birthday. You know that, don't you? After Mom died on my birthday, I never had a birthday. I told nobody bring up the 7th ever again. Ever. I didn't want the 7th ever brought up again. Period. I don't have birthdays no more. My mama died on my birthday, and I don't even want to think about it, you know. And then Dad took his life 2 years later. Of course, part of it was my fault because I was in the hospital, and they told my dad that I was dying, and he couldn't take it. And he called Michelle up and said, Rick's in here dying, and she told, fuck me. That's what he told me, okay, before he went up to board, and he told me, he said, this is what she told me on the bed. He says, fuck you, I don't love him, I don't love you, fuck you all. And hung up the phone. Now he ain't got nobody to talk to. Bobby Jr.'s a flake, you know what I'm saying? And he found out that I was dying, which I was. My kidneys had shut down. I mean, I was drinking fluids and nothing coming out, nothing. When they say you're the sickest one in the hospital, you know, and that was one doctor, I'll never forget, Dr. Peterson, he said, you're not going to die. You are going to get well. I'm going to make you well. And he took it to the nurse and said, just give him this, 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 and this. And it was mega dose of antibiotics. Mega doses. And I peed orange, cried orange, shit orange. And a week later, everybody came in and said goodbye to me, and he came back home. Just like that. You know, it was just like weird, man. I mean, it hardly expect. And then in the hospital, I found out Dad killed himself. He went up to Portland and come to see you, because he told me he was coming up to see you. I think is what I remember. I was pretty out of it. He said he was going up to see you. And then I found out about the bank robbery bullshit. And Terry had on the tape machine, I love you, and he tried to explain everything, and Terry erased it. His doper girlfriend. And the only reason why he wanted that doper girlfriend, he wanted to find out who the connection was. The dope dealer, so he could take him out and take their money is what he wanted to do. He didn't want to rob banks. Okay, he wanted to take out a dope dealer. Because he liked doing that kind of stuff, taking somebody out he was hurting other people. Because he was, I don't know, Dad was kind of weird in a way, you know. He didn't like doing some of the stuff he did, but some of the stuff he didn't mind because some of these people were animals anyway. That he had to collect from, you know. Like he'd take the rent money and spend it instead of paying for the kids and shit like that. So he's really get on him. But I never forgave him for that. But for 2 years, I tried to get him. You know, he cried every day. Man. He cried every day.
Well, I remember
We went
taking
to
a
Reno.
tour of Alameda
We went to
with
Reno.
him and seeing him cry, which was very different.
Yeah.
He was very stoic
You
usually.
know how hard that is to see a guy cry
He's-
that you never seen cry before.
Yes.
God almighty, man.
So, you saw your grandson in 2008?
Was it 8?
Yes, 2008.
Yeah, we were over to the apartments there. Then right after you left, I moved over to the other place.
What was it
All
like
I
seeing
see-
your grandson?
It was cool. Yeah. What do you think? I
Well,
found
I
out I
don't
could
know.
now
I
I can
remember grandson.
celebrate. I still didn't really celebrate my birthday. I celebrated his every year,
Well, that's fine.
but you know, when we moved, you know, I was still sick. See, I've been sick 3 or 4 times, okay, and then she got sick a couple times with that diabetes bullshit, and then she got MRSA and pneumonia and stuff. I got sick again, and all that shit got packed up and put in such a corner. I must have had that much dust on everything when I moved. I mean, that's how I found stuff. Then when I called you up and said, I think I found you, you know, it was weird shit, man. I mean, it was really weird. And I said, I was hoping that you'd try and get a hold of me because I couldn't find nothing.
Right.
And then you
Wait.
didn't call or nothing. And I figured you tried and I had moved, you know.
Right.
So, oh well, that's the way it goes.
So, what did you
Bicycle.
hear? What did you think
Oh,
when you had a
Michelle.
granddaughter?
What happened was Michelle called Bobby, and I talked to Bobby somehow, and he told me that I had a granddaughter, and she was born on Dad's birthday. Okay, and that's when I guess I tried to get a hold of you or something. I can't remember. It's been too many sicknesses, man. Just too sick and tough to remember half this shit. Man. Trying to survive and take care of Diana and me and all the other kids and stuff. I had to take care of Diana's daughter and shit with them 3 kids. You know, I supported them 3 kids when I was working at Wind River and stuff. You know, bought her a car, 2 cars. She had
When did you work at Wind River?
99, 98, 2000, all the way up to 2006. I went back and forth. I went to Casino Club, Wind River, Casino Club, Wind River. They all thought I was a spy at Wind River for the Casino Club, you know. And I said, you see any extra money in my pocket, guys? You think I'm a spy for Wayne Harris? I'm trying to make a living here too, you know. Rick's a spy. Trying to, you know, backstabbing shit, you know what I'm talking about? But all the Indians, I used to party with the Indians at Docks and Redding years and years before they opened up the casino and stuff. So I partied with all the Indians. I knew them quite well. There was those people that worked there with the river and shit. They didn't know all that shit. See. I knew the Popejoys. I knew Gary Hayward. I knew them all before they got rich. Okay, from this casino shit. So they all knew who I was and everything. So, but I liked that job, too. Poker, I was good at it. I was so good at it. Dad would sit in the games, and I'd deal and stuff. I'd crack jokes.